Very interested in what you said, particularly about Oasis, because it's commonly written that it was always going to blow at some point, and the tensions were always there from the beginning. But you suggested they weren't; that it only got seriously tricky later on.
Yeah, yeah. But it was never going to end like REM have ended, around the table, you know, all amicable, and said, yeah, we really should call it a day. It was always going to end in a fight of some description. Everybody was aware of that. Do you know what I mean? We all wanted it to last forever. I certainly did. Do you know what I mean? But I was always aware that when it came to it, that one of us would eventually, you know, say F you and you and you and you and you, and that just happened to be me. It could well have been Liam, but it's not something it's not. You can't live your life regrets like that. It's like it was a great trip. I think maybe it was inevitable that I would walk out, because I've got a pretty long fuse and pretty thick skin until the day that I haven't, and then it's like, no, I'm out of here.
And without going blow by blow, the final encounter, 2009.
The final round.
Yeah. What was it that took you over the edge?
Well, there was a gradual thing that had gone on for most of that tour. There was just a lot of personal insults, but not to my face, do you know what I mean? And my missus was getting brought into it through no fault of her own. And it just felt, this is all really unnecessary. I'm going to do everybody a favour by leaving. But the final straw was, he kind of slung a guitar around the dressing room, and it's dangerous, do you know what I mean? And in the end, it was just like, you know what? Nobody's enjoying this, do you know what I mean? I do regret not doing the gig. We only have 2 gigs left. Could have just done the gigs and gone away and cooled down a little bit. But we're not, you know, we're Mancunians, and, you know, it's something quite special about walking out.
It was presumably pretty emotional to walk out, was it?
Well, yeah, it's a big decision. I knew, Liam was very, very wound up and angry, and I was quite calm in the dressing room, which served to wind him up even more. You know what I mean? If you're like furious with someone and someone's kind of quite calm, that annoys you, doesn't it? It annoys my wife a great deal. And but when I left the dressing room, I left the site and sat in the car for 5 minutes. I knew that if I'd said to the driver, drive, that was it. The band was over. And that was a long 5 minutes. And I was with my security guard who sat in the front, and there was like a driver, and I was sat in the back, and he just turned around and he said, "What are we doing? We're staying or going?" And I just said, "Fuck it, let's go." And that was it. And I never thought about the aftermath. I never thought about, from that second I'd left, and that was it. And it was just a case of, you know, going on holiday and taking some time off and seeing what it is I wanted to do, you know. And that was it. I never thought about the rest of the lads. I never thought about the people in the field waiting for us to go, "We'll do on in 5 minutes," you know. I never thought about them or the crew or what it meant to people or the legal storm that it would bring after all that. I never thought of any of that. It was just like, I've quit, that's it, I'm gone.
Did you cry?
No, only cry at football matches. Yeah, I shed a tear when we beat United in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and when my children were born, but crying, it's for girls, isn't it?
Final question on Liam, you'll be relieved to know, but do you exchange Christmas cards and texts, or is it total silence?
No, we never did. We're not that kind of family. We've seen each other on a regular basis in the band, and you know, when you're not in the band, you're spending time with your family. Do you know what I mean?
So there's no contact?
No, none of any significance. No, much to my mother's disgust, I have to say. But you know, there you go. It's we've got big boys now and all that, so she can't tell us what to do forever, can she?
Do you just accept that's it, probably?
No, of course it's not. It won't be the last time I'm ever going to speak to him. Of course I'm going to speak to him again. It's just, I'm busy. I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing. There's no need to get involved in any of that at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Do you accept that nothing you do can be as big as Oasis?
Absolutely. Nothing anybody does can be as big as Oasis. Not Coldplay, not Kasabian, not the Arctic Monkeys, in this country, not U2, not any of them. It's as simple as that. It's not only it's not only me that lives up to that legacy, it's everyone else who's got to live it down. We were the last. We were the greatest. The end.
Finally, looking back at your career, the creation of Oasis, I mean, you were ambitious and you were driven and you went out and you worked very hard for it. Are you still ambitious, or are you satisfied now?
In the early days, I was ambitious that we were going to become the biggest band in the world. And for a brief point, we were the biggest band in the world. We sold the most tickets and sold the most records, ergo the biggest band in the world. Done it then, and then it was just like, I just want to enjoy it now, But I've never been one, or wasn't in the early days, for like sticking it out and see what happens. You know what I mean? I was single-minded in, we were going to take it to the top. Because what could be worse, I felt, than having all this potential and it just come to nothing, like the Libertines or something like that, Potentially could have been one of the greats, but this drugs and booze and can't be arsed just blew it. Do you know what I mean? I was determined that we weren't going to blow it, and I've had this reputation since the band has split up of being called a control freak and all that kind of thing, and and I controlled them all the way to Nebworth and Wembley, and all the way to the top of the charts. So you're welcome.
Noel Gallagher, thank you.
Thank you very much.